That's my baby. I'm dying.
That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
Left, feet left.
What the hell was that? Oh, yeah!
What the fuck are you talking about?
All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for another episode of the Athlete Spotlight, and got another fun one lined up for you guys this afternoon. Going to be joined by bare knuckle boxing fighter over here to my right, Mr. Leonard the Bad Boy Garcia is kind enough to grace us with his presence this afternoon. And before we get into that, real quick, let's show some love to our show sponsor, which is. This interview is being sponsored by, and that is sponsored by right down here below, Body Check Wellness. They are a line of products promoting balance, recovery, using full potential of hemp. They come in extract blends, gummies, topicals. Use promo code A2D for 20% off. Also, our hockey fan guys, make sure you are checking into the hockey happy hour. They got a nice little giveaway with one of the Body Check Wellness jerseys. Obviously, anyone pays attention, that's Riley Cote's company over here. And with that being said, get it into it. The poll question here: Leonard Garcia versus Joe Elmore will not end in the decision. Agree to disagree, fam. Make sure you're checking in on YouTube, on Twitter here. Leonard, I know you got some feelings on this one. I don't feel there's no chance in hell. I think that they should, once the co-main event ends, they should send the judges in the back, tell them to go get something to eat, bathroom break, something like that. They're not going to need it for your guys' fight. Not going to need it.
I think you're right on the money, man. I think both me and Joe are two guys that go for broke, and we never leave anything for the swim back home, man. We always try to go for it. And, I definitely, we're going to find out when we get in there, once we start hitting each other, who reacts the way they do. And it's going to be a great fight, man. I'm super excited. I've been training like a madman, man. I'm ready to go, man.
Oh, absolutely. I know fans were excited for it. I was really excited as soon as they announced it. I'm like, oh, he gets the main event against Elmore. That's going to be a fun one. It was definitely, I already talked to the half of the co-main event there. Reggie going against Chop Chop is also going to be a fun fight too, man.
That's going to be a great fight as well, man. I'm
excited. And the fun thing is, like, that they just announced a part of it. We got to wait to see what else is there going to be on the main card, undercard, etc. like that. So I know Dave and the boys are working up some magic there in the lab over there.
with the main and co-main, man, they don't really need much else, man. They're gonna have fireworks right there. But everybody on the roster, man, everybody comes to fight bare knuckle, and that's what I love about this sport, man. It's just you get in there, it's no nonsense, no rest, and no nothing. You just get in there and you get it on, man. And I think it's the most entertaining sport out there, and I wish it had been around way sooner here in the States. But
that was getting to my next one. You're like, a lot of people say that Aldo or Faber was like the kings of WEC, where you were arguably the prince of it. And
I got named the face of the WEC, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, man. Like people, like a lot of people who didn't follow MMA back then, like don't really understand, who Leonard Garcia really is. And it's one of these things, man. You're just one of these guys that, like, I agree, like along with the Chris Liebens of the world, who, if bare knuckle boxing was around 10, 15 years ago, you guys would have ruled it with an iron fist, so to speak.
I tell you what, man, it's funny that you even brought up Lieben, man. He was one of the guys that, I cut my teeth in there with him on the cards, and to see him do as well as he's done, in bare knuckle. And to see that, man, it's inspiring, and it's a great feeling to know, we had really similar styles when we fought, and we would always go for it, man. So for him to do as well as he's done in bare knuckle, it made me feel really happy for him.
Yeah, man. He we all got to see his swan song, him and Quentin Henry in there. what a great way to go out. He's been kind of grandfathered as an ambassador to bare knuckle boxing and doing some things with them out there in California. Now you're one of these guys too, who's made for bare knuckle boxing, who is very passionate about it now, and is probably gonna would you like to see kind of a role similar to that, like as you get ready to progress your career on from athlete to ambassador, coach, etc.?
Man, I would love to have anything to do with him, man. If bare knuckle will bring me back whenever I'm done fighting as a commentator or as a recruiter or something, man, I think I got an eye for guys that would do well, and I think I'd be good for the sport. So anything that they can, they've been very generous to me. They've been really kind, and I really do see a future with them. Ongoing after I decide to hang up the hands.
And do you have any idea because you have a lot of people have a lot of say about combat sports. You have to get out at the right time. You don't want to see other situations where we've seen in this sport guys hang around too long, or that they're just in it for the money or whatever, that their heart's not really in it. There's always contributing factors to it, but I gotta ask you. You even sat there. I think I just seen an interview pop out with these are the type of fights that take years off your lives. Well, that being said, what's left after that? What are your future plans? Like I know you still want to probably compete some more, depending on how things play out. What would you like to see play out the rest of this year and the rest of your career?
I'm a firm believer of you're as good as your last fight, man. And I had a tough one my last one. I had to regroup, and I really had to redefine myself. And if I go in there with this redefinition and nothing changes, man, you really got to look at yourself, and you got to understand that. I think I'm fighting the number one guy in bare knuckle, and if you can't beat the best, then what the hell are you doing? But if I get in there and some good things happen, and I see some progress in what I'm trying to do, man, I still feel great. I'm 41 years old, but I feel 21, man, and we'll just have to see. My only goal right now is Joe Elmore. That's all I'm thinking about, man. If you start thinking of that.
Well, I'm not saying I want you to name a guy or anything like that. I mean, just meaning do you look like you have a 2-year plan to keep going, or is it just fight by fight, how your body feels, how you feel mentally, etc.?
Yeah, man, I really judge things on how I feel mentally, and I'm an emotional guy, man. So it just really depends, man. Everything always boils down to chance and circumstance and exactly what you look like in your last one, because that's what people remember. How do you look? And I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, man, if I'm fighting the number one guys or the top 10 guys, then I belong. If I'm not, then it's time to hang it up, man. You don't want to do nothing unless you're the best at it, and that's where I'm at on all that.
And that's where you've always been. It's always all or nothing, right?
Yes, sir. That's what it is, man.
We got one question from the chat. I don't want to get off bare knuckle too much, but thank you for joining A2D. And he wanted to give you your insight on Donald Cerrone, what he's meant to you as a friend, as a training partner.
Who's that?
Cerrone, Donald.
Oh yeah, man. You know what? Cowboy's dropping down to 55 right now, and he looks fantastic. Well, he's actually doing another fight at 70. But he did a grappling match against Dos Anjos at 55, and his whole goal is to come back and make one more run at 55. And Cowboy's had a rough go lately, man, but he's a fantastic fighter, man. He's just a great person, and he's one of those guys too, man. It's all or nothing with him. So I think he comes out, and I think he destroys Diego Sanchez, resurges his career. And, man, I think we're going to see Cowboy for a good little while, man. The way he's looking in the gym right now, he's going to be around for a little bit.
Yeah, Donald has this weird thing, man. It's like he has this bad timing of having these lower performances at times, and it's just like, you know, he has these fights where he's in it, and then all of a sudden just he just get caught, you know, or he doesn't get a chance to kind of really get into his game plan and start implementing things. It's just, and I agree with you. I think he's gonna get this W over Diego. Diego hasn't looked right in a few years. I'm not sure what's going on there. Love who Diego is as a fighter, as a man, as a person, but it's one of those things like what I was just talking about. Like, why is Diego still fighting?
Yeah, you know,
I mean,
I don't know.
The ball will always be in him. I get that. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like at the same time, you also have to look back and like, you know, see what else is going on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think both guys are at a crossroads. You know, I know Cowboy felt a certain type of way after his last fight, and you know, he just decided to redefine himself, like I said, man. And if the Cowboy that shows up in the gym shows up, nobody can beat that dude. I mean, man, I hate to say it, but man, he's one of the guys that I dread sparring him when it's time to spar, man, because he's just one of those guys, man. He can hit you with what he wants, and he can do it. I mean, I always make jokes. I tell them if somebody came out and made up a sport today, and they were a master at it, you'd learn it for 15 minutes and then be able to beat him. So he's just one of those guys, man. Super athletic, super talented. I just mentally he has to keep it together, and man, he's got such a good place in life right now. I really think we see the best Cowboy Cerrone in the next few years.
Yeah, man. Like people don't understand how the mental and physical thing has to be on the proper balance. And sometimes when there's things going on personally, that you know your fighting life suffers, and sometimes it goes vice versa. The balance between it is so delicate with fighters, and you know it's one of those things. Like you said, sometimes you just have to get away from it all, reset it all. Get some kind of like perspective onto your personal life before you can get there into the cage and do what you really love to do.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I tell you what, man. This fight camp, man, it's just been fun again to me. You know, I've been able to go to the gym. I don't dread going. You know, I'm going in there and I'm getting sharper every day. So it's a lot more fun, man. I don't feel pressure. I want to go out there and perform well. And like I said, man, if I feel this good, there's no telling, man. The sky's the limit.
Oh man, it's for sure, and I'm sure you're gonna give everyone their money's worth. You, Joe Elmore, are gonna kind of throw down and let us know what's up.
Yeah, man. You know, it's a perfect fight for both of us, man. I can't tell you enough how much I respect the dude, man. He's a killer, you know, and you know, people can take this how they want, and they can say, oh, he's scared of you and this and that. He's a scary dude, you know. He's a very scary opponent, and it's somebody that most people wouldn't sign the dotted line to fight him. But like I said, man, I want to challenge myself. I want to give myself the best shot at being the number one guy. And what better way to do it than to fight that monster? You know what I mean? And that's what we're gonna do, man. And it's just like I said, man, it's fun. I don't know how much fun it's gonna be when I get in there, but right now I'm having fun, man.
And I think that's what a lot of people tend to forget too. Is like if you guys aren't having fun leading up to it, there's no way that you're gonna enjoy the performance that you guys end up putting on at the end of the day. And hearing from what I'm hearing from you now, I don't know, man. I'm gonna go get the pay-per-view now and save myself the trouble. I mean, listen, you know, and I'm with you. Joe's extremely tough. He deserves that billing right along with you. And you're one of these guys. Like, listen, you know, it's either I'm gonna slow this hype train up and I'm gonna go on my own run, or we're gonna see what this kid has to offer, and if he really is, you know, one of the guys who's really the future in the sport. Now, a lot of people really have a really, you know, strong feeling that he could be, you know, one of the guys who could be a champion in the sport for a little while.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, I don't know why this fight's not for the belt. It doesn't make sense to me. I actually hold the international 165 title for bare knuckle. And he's ranked number 1 by the Police Gazette. I don't know why bare knuckle just doesn't put the belts on the line and let me and Joe figure it out. And if they want to hold a tournament, then let the co-main event guys, be the number one contender, and then the winner, winner take defend this title against them. I just think it would mean so much more if the belt was on the line, but at the end of the day, it means so much now. So belt, no belt, doesn't matter to me. It's the number one spot in the world.
What do you think? Like, I know obviously what do you think they're planning? You think they're planning on putting together a night where you guys just have a tournament? Do you think that is the tournament going to crown the number one contenders and the guys who are probably number one and number two are going to fight for the belt?
Well, typically when they hold a tournament, they'll put the number one and two guy on opposite brackets and hope that they meet each other in the finals. Because me and Joe are who we are, we said, I want to fight the top guy. Both of us said the same thing. So, like I said, man, my respect level for the dude is right there, man. And he called for this fight. I called for it too. So, I think we both know what's at stake, man. We both know. And to us, this is for the title, So if they put on the line or if they don't, it doesn't matter, man. We're both fighting for something that means something to us. And at the end of the day, we get to test ourselves against each other, and that's the greatest thing in the world.
Title or no titles, respect sometimes means more.
Man, at this point, like I said, man, title, no title, it doesn't matter. I mean, the thing is, I think it's the greatest 165 fight that they could have put together. And, we'll go out there, we'll perform, and we'll let you guys be the judge. But I guarantee you one thing, man, the fans always win when it's this type of situation. When you got two guys that don't care and just want to fight, man, like that's the main thing for me. I just love to fight. When I talked my wife into this, I told her this is, that's where I feel alive, I don't mean that like in life or anything else. It's just, if I could bottle that feeling when you're in there and you're scrapping and punching.
Is fighting lights you up in a way that people just don't really comprehend too much. Like people outside of the fighting community don't understand like why people really do that consistently. Like if you don't get the energy, what you get inside from competing like that, you'll just never get it. So yeah, I get how does that feeling up and give it to someone else to know how that is, then it'll be another thing.
Yeah. And
now we got another from,
all
right, we got another question from YouTube from one of our guys here. He said, many years ago, you were in here in Philly or South Jersey. If he's talking about Dallas, it was Dallas in South Jersey. Sparring his boy Joe and caught him flushed on with a kick to the head. Do you remember that?
Man, I tell him I've been so many places to spar, but man, every sparring session means a lot to me, man. And man, I don't really remember. I think I've kicked a lot of guys right in the head and did a lot of punching, but I also took a lot of kicks to the head and a lot of punches. So he's probably got a funny story about how his buddy paid me back. So it was good.
Yeah, but I mean listen, man, and that's another thing you talk about too, like the sparring. Like a lot, you're hearing a lot of things from even a guy you fought, Max Holloway, just sitting there saying like, really cut back over the years and stuff like that. What your thoughts on a lot of the MMA guys and cutting back on that? And as a bare knuckle guy, do you guys do a lot of bare knuckle sparring, or is it more gloves?
No, I mean, my face will tell you otherwise, man. I'm dinged up right now, man. I brought in some heavy hitters and I'm getting ready for a monster. So we spar with 8 sometimes at times, but at the end of the day, man, you don't really want to take all that damage before you're gonna go in there and fight a guy like Elmore. But I've got to get hit, man, because if I'm not getting hit in the gym, when I get out there and I get hit by a big heavy shot, it's gonna be, it's a shock and your brain's not used to it. So it's kind of a weird deal, but you have to
find that happy balance, right?
Yeah, I try like when at the beginning of the camp I wear the 16s, the headgear, everything else to protect the brain, and working head moving. Then towards the end, we take the headgear off and we spar with the 8s on. So I'm towards the end of my camp now, and don't know how many more heavy sparring sessions we're gonna have, But we're getting ready. Like I said, man, we're getting ready to fight. Joe, and I gotta be physically in tip top shape.
I got another one pertaining to your career here from John. You've been in some wars over your career. As you look back of it, what are some of the ones that you're most proud of? Win, loss, whatever. What are some of the fights that you look back on when you go and look at your legacy? What's going to be the ones like what? That's the one I want to show to my grandkids and stuff like that.
Man, there's so many fights. I think Roger Huerta introduced me into the fight scene, and that was a fantastic fight. We got nominated Fight of the Year, and then of course me and the Korean Zombie. I don't know what we did to each other. We train wrecked each other, and there's a lot of them. I had this question earlier, and whenever I look back on my career, I think about every single fight, and I think about the wins and the losses, and I think of what I learned when I lost, because I never learned anything off a win. It's like I won, so I just thought, well, everything I'm doing is right, so we're good. And the losses. So, man, I hate to say it like this, but every fight meant something to me. You know what I mean? Every single one of them is an accomplishment, and at the end of the day, I would show my kids every single win and every single loss, and I would just be able to break it down to them. Like, look, this is what happened here. That's what happened there. So to me, just a journey alone and every fight, I've had over 40 plus fights. Everyone meant something to me, man. So I hate to say such a broad answer and not bring up one big name, but, I cut my teeth with some of the biggest names, man. Holloway, you talked about him earlier, the Zombie, Dennis Over, Mike Brown, it just so many big names out there, man, and it's just been a hell of a ride, man. So I'll just say every one of them meant something to me.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think the ones that like you said that were at the fight, like that was real special. But a lot of the WEC, it's always going to be the Korean Zombie fights that you two had. I mean, he just cemented his legacy even more as he came over to UFC and had his more than his share of moments in there, man. And that guy is just
man, for sure,
unbelievable. So I mean, for me, if I'm going to sit there and say one that I would have to say, I mean, that's kind of a toss up between them two, because the fight that got you guys on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I mean, that did so much just for the sport in general. I think if I'm sitting in your shoes and I guess I'm taking a body possession of Leonard Garcia, that's the moment I'm going to say for you.
That's awesome, and that's what I enjoy, man. The fans have, they have so many different fights that they can look back and, man, do you remember when he fought this guy? Do you remember when this happened? So at the end of the day, that's how I want to be remembered, and I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, John brings up another one. You were talking about potentially commentating when you're fighting career over. Who's your favorite commentator in combat sports?
Man,
there's so many. It's rough. I'm gonna be a homer when I give mine, but go ahead and give yours, my friend.
Okay, let me see. Man, I think God dang it, man, this is gonna be a tough one. Give me yours first, and then let's compare.
All right, like, listen, I always have love for Joe Rogan because he basically educated, most of the fans who've been fans for more than 20 years on the sport, and just his genuine reaction, how he tries to break it. Like he's just always going to be special, but that's just someone that always says. So I'm going to go with someone new school, and I'm going to be an absolute homer. I got to go with my boy Paul Felder. He is absolutely killing it on the mic. I don't care what anyone says. He has a degree in arts as it is, so he knows how to talk on the mic and go how the whole thing, the show's supposed to go on TV, which has been the direction that MMA has been going, for the better part of the last 10 years. But definitely have to give a notable shout out to Laura Stanko too, because she doesn't get enough credit by any means. But it's your turn, my friend. The spotlight's on you, your turn.
And that was good, and first, you are like you said, man, you want to say Rogan because he's been there from the beginning. man, I listen to Rogan's podcast religiously, and that's why it would be hard to choose anybody else. But you're right, man. Felder is actually a good friend of mine, and he knows the fight just like, I mean, everybody else. But DC, what I really like about him is he calls it like he sees it, man. He even if he has a favorite or if he has a friend,
yeah, but his homerism comes out too much, and I think that rubs people the wrong way. Like even when Paul has his guys on there, he's not. You don't hear it in his broadcast,
in
and that's
voice.
That's why I didn't. I love DC. Don't get me wrong. And there's things I can't say about him as a person, but as a commentator, absolutely right. He's great. But I just think if he could clean up some of that stuff, like just letting some of the personal things come to the top. Hey, listen, when you're a passionate man, like it's hard sometimes. I get that, especially when you're going to be on TV. And I get that's why a lot of people he rubs a lot of people the wrong way. But at the same time, man. He needs his name checked up on there because he's put in a lot of work over the last handful of years of homing that. So I'm not going to completely take it away from him, but yeah, I'm gonna be a homer. I gotta go for Phil.
So my home run, and I think he's called the fights very well, and he's always done really good. Was Pat Miletich, man, one of the guys that had been there from the very beginning.
We had him on our show Friday nights. He was on with Spit and Fire with Rachel Blaze, and they had a nice little fun little conversation. Pat's going through a rough patch right now, but I mean, he's one of the OG commentators, man. Like we could have dropped Goldie in here because when you hear kids mimicking fight callbacks, do you hear him call Rogan's or you hear him call Goldie? I hear that stuff running around, Mike Goldberg's call all day long.
Yeah, that's right, man. Well, man, and commentating is just a tough job, anyways, man. Like you said, you everybody. I don't care who you are. Everybody has favorites. Everybody has somebody they like, and when they get in there, like you said, DC is a little bit passionate, but at least he calls it like he sees it. And even when his buddies get beat up, he's kind of like, well, this and that. So I don't know, man. On the commentator one, I'm just gonna say they all do a fantastic job, man. But John always did good, so I'm just gonna pick him.
John trumped us because they went with the obvious one because Dominic Cruz is absolutely the heir apparent to Joe Rogan. Don't let anyone fool you or tell you any different. As much as people don't like his personality, he sees things like at Joe sees it. He not only breaks it down, but he'll tell you what's coming before he comes. Like, if he doesn't do when they break it down like that, that's what makes a great commentator. Not just the analyst, the commentator as well. You have to be able to see it, call it, and articulate it so the fans can understand what you're trying to say. Which is what all four of the names that we mentioned were why we mentioned them.
Yeah, and I hope if I do get a shot at commentating, man, I don't make the same mistakes, but I love fights, man. I love watching them, and I love talking about them. So I hope one day that I'll be able to get out there and do a good job at it.
All right, man. I think you'll be great, man. You'll find the setting that works for you, man. Like I said, you'll find yourself at home whenever it comes down to it. And John has another one for you. He's like, have you ever had a chance to sit down with Eddie Bravo and talk to him about inventing that damn twister?
Man, Eddie Bravo is man, that dude is something else, man. I've been to Tim Planet a couple times, and he's a master. I had never freaking seen a twister before. When the Korean Zombie was trying to set that thing up, I had no idea. And here's the thing, man. He popped my back 3 times, and I wasn't going to risk that 4th one, but there was 1 second left on that clock, and I didn't know it. Man, Eddie Bravo's a master, man, and I wish I would have seen that. I wish I'd have spent a little more time with him and known about it a little more, and I wouldn't have got caught with it. But here's a funny story about that. I had to accept the award for the Korean Zombie when he hit me with that twister, and when I got up there, I was like, well, since you guys twisted my arm, I guess I'll get up here and do it. So it was kind of funny. It was a good joke, and But Eddie Bravo's awesome, man. I think it's a fantastic move now, and I've actually hit the twister on a couple people in practice now. So hopefully I'll never get caught in it again.
Well, I mean, if you're strictly bare knuckle boxing, you probably should have never get caught in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it, man. But I still, you know.
So is that telling me there's a potential of you going to have at least one more MMA fight in the future? Or is it strictly bare knuckle?
No, I have no interest in wrestling or kicking. You know, I just want to punch guys in the face, and everything I do from here on out is based on bare knuckle. I grapple to stay in shape, and it keeps other ligaments a little bit stronger. It's a lot easier on the body to spar grappling than it is to do the bare knuckle stuff. So I do that to keep myself prepared for anything.
Well, here's one for you. I got a monkey wrench to throw on you. You obviously you have Cerrone with his sport jiu-jitsu that he does. Would you ever? Is that another way we get you doing some jiu-jitsu on a bigger stage? Having him do one of his shows?
Yeah, man. You know, I like I said, I'm one of the old pioneers in MMA, so I definitely want to keep everything going, man. And if somebody offered me a jiu-jitsu match and it made sense and it was against a big name guy and I could show what I've been working on, then I would definitely do it. It'd be something that would interest me. But we'll see. You know, I mean, right now, like I said, all I'm thinking about is
bare knuckle is where it is, man. You know, that's the fight that's coming up. That's what the fans are going to be tuning in for. A few more questions before we let you go. My man Bert Watson was on my Instagram, sitting there saying, "Tell my kids." I said hi. What do you think? You know, everyone loves Bert, man. We love him over here. He's always going to be involved in this sport, man. You got a crazy Bert story for us, because he always has crazy stories to tell us about everyone. You have a crazy Bert story for us?
Man, Bert is the hype man of hype men, man. I love Bert. He he's got this saying. He gets back there and he says, it's easy to get to UFC. It's hard to stay here. And several times, man, we would come together and he'd count my years out to me, 6, 7 years, and it was right before he left. I had been there 6 years, and he was like, "Leonard, from the very first time I saw you, I knew you were going to be around for a little while." I think he wanted a bottle of cognac, so he told me, he gave me a good compliment, man. But I love Bert, man. He's one of the best guys. I was real sad when he left the UFC, but Bert's going to succeed at whatever he does, man. And he's just one of those people that always rises to the occasion. And man, he's just a great dude.
And always brings that special energy, man. That's what I'm talking about. He's got that special flair. If he's around your promotion event, whatever, he's one of those guys that you gotta have him on your hip, man.
That's right.
And before we wrap it up, obviously this one's going to be in Biloxi. Reggie said he has a special connection to Mississippi. He loves it there. Loves competing there and stuff like that. You have a place that you prefer to fight in, regardless of, I'm talking bare knuckle boxing, whatever. Is there, like, outside of your hometown, is there a place you think that there's a special energy to compete there?
Man, I love Florida, man. I really do. My biggest fights were in Florida. When I knocked out Jens Pover, that happened there. And that was really the one that kind of introduced me as a big striker, coming in the WEC. And Florida's where it's at, man. If this one was supposed to be in Florida and they moved it to Biloxi, thing I love about Biloxi right now is I didn't have a very good performance there last time, and I love being able to rewrite wrongs. It's one of those things when you can correct something. I think you got an opportunity to do it, and you take a chance and you go out there and you try to do it right. So for me, it's personal. I'm going back there to try to correct the last time. That way I give the people in Biloxi what they should have seen the first time they seen me. So I'm excited about it.
I love it, man. Yeah, especially with, like, listen, when you get a chance, sometimes you don't get the chance to right wrong. You get the chance to right wrong, jump on.
That's right.
Regardless if we're talking about fighting, life, whatever, man. If you have a second chance at something to fix something that's wrong, fix it.
That's right.
John has one more before we let you go. Favorite post-fight meal or beer of choice?
Man, I'm not a beer drinker, man. I quit drinking when I was 18 years old. That's funny. I quit drinking before I was legal. My sister passed away. The driver was drunk in the accident, and I see what alcohol did. It destroyed our lives as a family. It took a loved one away, and I was a heavy drinker back then. I just thought to myself, man, one of these days, if I did that to somebody's family, I couldn't live with myself. So I stayed away from it, man, and I held true from the time I was 18 years old. I'm 41 now, man, and I just don't drink beer. But man, I love seafood, man. King crab or
I'm a seafood man. Let's go.
Man, I love it.
Let's go. I'm with you.
Lobster tail, man.
Any kind of shrimp, dude. I'm with you. Let's go.
Heck yeah, man. That's right.
Sushi bar, whatever. Like I'm a seafood nut. That's me, man.
That's it, man. Well, we're gonna have to hang out then, man.
But before I let you go, how I wrap up every interview is kind of throw the proverbial microphone in over to you. Anyone you would like to thank, training partners, teammates, should give shout outs to your sponsors. Let everyone know where to follow you on social media. Make sure everyone knows where to check out the upcoming fight. If you're selling tickets, you have T-shirts, anything like that, the time is yours, my friend.
Man. So first and foremost, man, thank God for the opportunity. You give me a chance to try to be number one in the world. I'll put in the work. So it's up to me now. So thank you for that opportunity. Thank my family for just supporting me on through this whole thing. And Bare Knuckle Fighting Promotion, man, for putting on these great fights and for making this a sport for the future. You guys for the interview, those Jefes, T2Go, Hayabusa, all my other sponsors. Who's that? Billington Real Estate. All you guys, man. My manager, Kevin Smith. If you guys need anything or if you guys want to help me out or sponsor me in any way, just reach out to him, Smith Brothers Combat. And man, you can find me at Bad Boy Garcia on Instagram and Twitter. Leonard Garcia on Leonard Bad Boy Garcia on Facebook. Man, just follow my career, man. I really don't post a lot about fighting. I just kind of post about life. And you guys get to know me a little bit better, man, and I'll get to know you guys. So just enjoy this fight. March 19th in Biloxi. It's me and Joe Elmore, two of the best guys in the world. I think it's the greatest match Bare Knuckle could have put on. I think you guys are going to see something you've never seen before.
I have no doubt, my friend, no doubt that you guys are gonna show out when it comes to this upcoming fight, Bare Knuckle Fighting 16, Biloxi, Mississippi. We're I think we're a little bit 2-3 weeks away at this point in time, guys. Jump on it now. This guy and Joe are gonna freaking tear the house down. As things starting to open up more, hopefully we can get some more fans in the stands and get that a little bit extra juice and electricity out of some of these athletes when you guys because I still think that you guys are missing a piece of that. It's one of the kind of unknown things that are going on that people in the combat sports world don't know. You guys feed off that energy in that crowd just like any athlete does. So,
man, it's going to be good, man. I'm excited.
All right. Well, again, appreciate the time. Best of skill to you in the upcoming one. Definitely looking forward to having you back on here. And again, guys, make sure you're checking out, Leonard at, the fight world, getting to know who Leonard Garcia, the man is as well. Follow him on the social media, regardless, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Appreciate the time, my friend. We'll catch back up with you.
Thank you, buddy.
All right. And that was Leonard Garcia. Another fun one. It's gonna be a great fight. Him and Joe Elmore is gonna be absolute fireworks. Appreciate the time, and you know, this is one of many that we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be back here Friday. I have another athlete spotlight for you. Make sure you guys are like, subscribe, follow us on all the platforms here. Other than that, this was another fun one. We'll catch you guys on the rebound and see you in a few days.